Welcome, everyone. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here to Berlin for the 18th International Hotel Investment Forum. Hard to believe we're here for 18 years. And just actually to get us started off this morning, because I know there are many that have been here for all 18 of those years, but I'm also certain that there are many that are here for the first time. So for those of you that are here for the first time, would you please just raise your hand a little bit? Wow. Well, everybody else, please give a round of applause, to our first timers here at IHIF. We're very, very glad to have you here. It's been a truly tremendous year. As we were preparing the highlight reel that you just saw, the news highlights, we were really amazed when you put the year together at just how much activity there's been, and there was obviously quite a lot more that couldn't fit into the limits of time that we had here. But we'll be hearing a lot about in the program over the next 3 days. But we were really curious, with all of this activity, we were really curious to find out what did our delegates really think was going on in the industry, and to get a little bit of a gauge of sentiment as we were coming into the conference here. So over the course of the month of February, our editors and our colleagues reached out to a sampling of delegates and surveyed for various aspects of their thoughts on the industry, their thoughts on the economy, and as I said, we tried to pull together a general indicator of industry sentiment from the delegates coming here to IHIF. And I'm really happy to report that it's quite good news. By a margin of 4-1, the delegates coming here to Berlin obviously are quite optimistic about the industry, not just the past year, but obviously for the future prospects. And for those who are concerned, I would say that the concerns basically fall into two main categories. And interestingly, those categories are really external factors to the industry. Those are, in summary, macroeconomic trends, which are largely the responsibility of governments and diplomats to deal with. And on the other hand, there are obviously global socioeconomic and global geopolitical issues as well. Similarly, governments are dealing with those. But as far as the industry dynamics, the fundamentals, the overwhelming sentiment is that it's a strong operating environment, strong foundation for demand, strong operating fundamentals, and a strong investment climate. So we hope to hear a lot more about those major issues, and we've assembled a tremendous faculty of speakers here, industry leaders, experts, to tell us more about the trends that happened in the year behind us, as well as what's happening in the year ahead. I think it's not really surprising, though, that the audience for IHIF is as optimistic as it appears to be. This is a very, very diverse audience. I'm really happy to announce that there are over 2,000 people that are registered, 2,000 professionals from the industry that are registered to attend this year. That brings us back to a level that is quite near the all-time high. Personally, I'm not sure that I want it to be the all-time high. I'd still like us to have some room for growth. I'm sure all of you, like to have room for growth in your businesses as well. But it's really indicative, I think, of the strong underlying fundamentals of the industry and the interest that hotel investing is attracting from all over the world. I think that's the other interesting characteristic of the audience, that not only are we diverse in terms of the different facets of the industry, the different professions that are represented here, leading executives, investors, owners, operators, professionals from all across the industry, but as you can see, we're from over 70 countries, from every single continent, except Antarctica, and we're hoping to be able to solve that next year if somebody would find a property to invest in down there. But it's a very, very geographically diverse, and by business type also a very, very diverse group of colleagues from the industry that are assembled here. And in the spirit of our theme of the meeting of global collaboration, we obviously encourage you to take advantage of all the learning opportunities and take advantage of all the networking opportunities while you're here on site. In addition, it really would not be fair to start this conference without paying tribute and thanking our sponsors, without whose support this event really could not continue. I'd like to start with our founding patron sponsor, CBRE, all of our patron sponsors, and our entire group of over 77 sponsoring companies. I think you'll find these are the leading companies in their categories, the experts in the industry, and during the next 3 days, we hope you'll take advantage of the opportunity to meet with them at their stands here at the exhibition, and network with them at all the various networking functions that we have prepared. The exhibits are certainly one reason to be here at IHIF, but networking is really paramount. We have a number of tools and a number of features of the event that are really geared to help you network. First, I'd like to point out the IHIF contact system for those of you that are registered into the event. If you've not done so already, you can go to the event's website, you can register into the contact management system. That allows you to communicate with anybody in the conference. So if you're like me and you attend the conference and you pick up 100 business cards and you forget that one, or you put it aside and can't quite remember who it was that you were talking to, you can go onto the contact management system and reconnect directly with any member of the audience, any member that's participating here at the event. In addition, from a networking perspective, we have a very unique feature here at IHIF. We've been doing this for many years, but for those of you that are here for the first time, I really encourage you to take advantage of the opportunity to participate in the Networking Express session. That's at 5:30 today, and it's a wonderful way to meet new people, meet old friends, meet new people as well. It's a very quick, fast, rapid-fire exchange of business information and contact information, and you never know that one most important business contact that you made might be that very first person that you met at the Networking Express. In addition, we obviously have a number of networking events. Tonight we have an opening reception, and we're very, very pleased to have the sponsorship, the support of the Intercontinental Berlin, who's hosting us here in the Potsdam Ballroom tonight. It'll be a tremendous event, I'm sure, as it always is. Then tomorrow night, Tuesday, we've got something a little bit different for IHIF. Typically what we do at IHIF is have a different theme, a different international theme, and we thought after so many years of being here in Berlin, we should have a German theme event. And so we're taking you to a very traditional German unique night out and a location that I'm told is actually located just under Angela Merkel's balcony. So apparently we can all wave to the Chancellor, and if there's any special messages, I'm sure we might be able to get some run up to her. But other than that, it should be a very, very fun night of networking tomorrow night. The coaches for that leave at 6:45 from the lobby. Another very unique aspect of IHIF, beyond the conference sessions, is the breakout sessions that we've done, where you really get an opportunity to get very hands-on and in-depth information in a particular subject area. This year, we're doing something very, very different to create a new form of engagement and interaction, and we're converting this room on Wednesday into something we call In the Round. So here in this room, we'll have 16 sessions going on simultaneously. They'll be focused on the subjects that you see here. These are topics that are quite important to the industry and to all of you, as practitioners, as business people in it. In addition to evaluation and branding and other topics on the operating level, there are also investment groups that are here to help you find out information about investable opportunities in 9 countries. We'll hear a little bit more about that as we go on today. We close out on Wednesday with a networking lunch. It's your last time to get those last-minute contacts and do that last-minute deal, perhaps. And then at the very end of the event, since we all know IHIF is about deals, we've got a property market. That property market is located on Wednesday at 3 o'clock in the hotel lobby. And certainly take advantage of the opportunity. There's always great information there about properties that are available and potentially some deals to be done there. IHIF is also about announcements. It's also about news and news that all of you are making. We encourage you to take advantage of the IHIF news distribution. We are also more than happy to make announcements here off stage. We do every year. So for those of you that have a transaction or an announcement that's noteworthy and you'd like to have that announced to the conference, please feel free to let any of us on staff know. And certainly my colleague David Eisen, David, please stand up. David's the editor-in-chief, the IHIF News Service. You can certainly get information to him in the IHIF press office. And we hope all of you have good luck here doing your deals. IHIF is not just about deal making, of course. It's also about recognition. It's recognition for excellence and for setting standards in the industry. And we take 2 different approaches. With our Young Leader Award, we're recognizing the achievement of individuals who are relatively new to their career. They're coming into the industry and they're making great strides, and we're always looking to recognize that next generation of leadership that's coming up. But in addition, as a long-standing tradition, we're recognizing for lifetime achievement individuals who have made landmark achievements and accomplishments in the industry. And I'm sure we're all looking forward. This will be a very, very special year with Mr. Barry Sternlicht being recognized on Tuesday for that Lifetime Achievement Award. That'll be here in the Potsdam room as well. This conference is about global collaboration. It's a platform and a stage that's set for you to be able to collaborate and for you to be able to do deals. But the conference itself comes together through a very, very collaborative effort. There are over 60 members of our advisory board from every different facet of the industry, from many different countries. And it really is, I think, an important contribution that all of them make. They're all very busy, but they take time. They meet with us annually in Lausanne at the EHL and really provide a lot of energy and a lot of ideas and a lot of enthusiasm and their knowledge and their expertise that all go into creating the wonderful conference program that we have here in Berlin. So I'd like to just say hats off to our advisory board. Thank you as always, for your support and for your involvement. And of course, we look forward, to working with you next year. IHIF, of course, is also about that great content, about the experts and the industry leaders that are going to be here on stage. And to tell us a little bit about that, I'd like to introduce my colleague, my co-host, who is here joining us after a very, very interesting year that he had. Jonathan Worsley, as many of you know, has been involved in working and creating the IHIF conference program for many years. Some would say all 18 years. But in addition, this year, he set a new landmark, a world record, when he and a team played the highest game of cricket ever in the world. This was on Kilimanjaro, and Jonathan's going to tell us a little bit about that, but more importantly, a little bit about the conference program. So if I could welcome Jonathan out on stage. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Kerry. Actually, it was just an incredible experience climbing Kilimanjaro, a magnificent mountain. We played cricket at the highest level, we played a 20-20 match. And what was fantastic is there was 30 amazing individuals that we climbed with that we got to know, including my colleagues and my son Hugo. And what was really rewarding at the end of the day was the amount of money we raised too for a number of great charities. So it was a fun year for us, but that's enough about me. What I would like to ask you is, Kerry asked who of you are here for the first time. I'd like to ask you who of you are here from 18 years ago when we launched this conference. Can you please stand up? Go on, stand up. There was 300 of you in the first year. There you are, Trevor. Well, listen, thank you for joining us. I bet the rest of them have seen this so many times that they're in meetings and everything else, but it's great to thank you for your support. And obviously we're doing the right thing. You keep coming back, so thank you for that. Now, my job is quite simply to tell you about this fantastic program that we have. And I think you all have a copy of the brochure. But just a couple of key points that I want to bring out. We met the advisory board at École Hôtelière de Lausanne in June last year, which we do every year. So we have 50, 60 individuals who come together, and we have a great time, but we also talk about the program. And they said, listen, we want you to do a few things differently this year. So we listened, and we said, all right, tell us what you want us to do. And they said, let's bring in some outside speakers, people from outside the industry. So we've done that. Tomorrow we've got Tesla Motors speaking, and Landor. And Tesla Motors are going to showcase their car actually outside this hotel tomorrow. So if you want to see the latest technology, the latest hotel, Tesla Motors will be doing that. The advisory board said, listen, Wednesday, let's try something different. These plenary sessions after the late night, sometimes difficult to get up for the sessions at 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe. So we're going to, as Carrie said, this room's going to be full of roundtable sessions in the round sessions, and I'm delighted. We've got some really good sessions going on there. We've got the head of security, for example, from ACOM, who's going to be talking to us in a roundtable, any questions we have about security issues. And we all travel, particularly the developers. So I think that's really useful to be able to discuss and ask about, the issues that are happening today, pandemics, security, terrorism, for example. We've got sessions on crowdfunding, which is the latest thing happening at the moment. We've got the sharing economy. We've got student accommodations. So anyway, great sessions. Plus we have countries being represented. We have about 8 countries, I believe, represented on Wednesday afternoon, who are going to be showcasing why you should be investing in their country. And I'm delighted to say we've got the Vice Prime Minister of Macedonia, who's going to be chairing one of the sessions on Macedonia. So delighted to have him on board as well. So we've delivered on that, so we hope that works. So do make sure you try to visit Wednesday afternoon. One of the other issues that came up all the time was innovation and disruptive technologies. And so this afternoon, we've got a whole set piece on this exact issue. And I'm delighted that we've got Airbnb. The advisory board said, bring Airbnb. So we've got Airbnb, and I'm delighted that Chip Connolly's here from Airbnb, who's going to be on that session. Interestingly, I think reading the papers today, that the valuation of Airbnb is something like 20 billion. What was it last year? 14 billion or something? So we've got a lot to learn this afternoon, and some great keynote speakers that are going to be joining Chip Connolly for that session. And that follows on nicely tomorrow, where we have a continuation of the whole sort of sharing economy. We've got the IHIF Student Challenge, and that's all about what corporates need to do in order to cope with this new economy that's coming through right now. And then that follows with a different session that we've got, which is the Hotel 2020. And I think it's interesting because with computer power doubling every 12 to 18 months, and has been for the last 20 years, and obviously artificial intelligence is doing the same thing, you can only imagine that in 20 years' time, Carrie Gumas is going to come out on this stage as a robot, not as an individual. Right, Carrie?